is grandfather, proud grandfather, I should say.
These are life songs questions.
Okay, let's begin.
What is your... What's this?
What is your earliest memory of music?
What is your earliest memory of music? Do you
A specific song.
a specific
That's a
song?
hard word to say. Well, the first song that I ever knew or ever remember was Christmas songs.
Well, that's fine.
Oh yeah, that was one of the favorite times of my life. I was just a little kid. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which we still have today. That's the one thing about Christmas songs.
Santa Claus is coming.
That's right, see? I sang that when I was your age, which was a long, long time. That's over
Like
70
this?
years.
Like this?
70 years, yeah.
What song or songs do you realize from your childhood? Answer, please.
Well, I remember, back then we didn't have television during my early childhood. So we listened to the radio. And that was the Grand Ole Opry. Everybody sat around in the whole house. There were 5 of us, and Mom and Dad would turn on the radio, and we would listen to Roy Acuff and the Grand Ole Opry, which was country music.
Think about the time when you were in junior high of minus school. Which songs come to mind? Where the
What were the events?
what were the
Events.
events that you remember from those days?
Well, that was the rock and roll period. That was Chuck Berry, James Brown, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll we talked about. Do you know what rock and roll is? Don't
No.
step on my blue suede. That was
Rock
it.
and roll, rock and roll.
Yeah, you kind of got that. That's just, you got that in your soul, don't you? You're a rock and roll girl. Nothing smooth about you. You're rough and tumble rock and roll.
4. When you were in high school, you must have had so many interesting explains. Which songs do you remember, and why do you want to share some memories from those days? Answer!
Well, that was kind of my folk music stage. Bob Dylan, you probably heard of. Joan Baez, Odetta. That's a bell, doesn't it? Well, they're not very active now. They were the forerunners of the folk music, what we call folk music, ballads and what have you. It was a little mellower, but that was probably my favorite kind. And also Harry Belafonte, Deo Deo, Snoop John B. See, these are all foreign to her. She's got her new music now, right?
Rock and roll!
Oh, you said, well, I said you're a rock and roll girl.
What happened in your life after high school? Describe those days and years. What songs do you remember listening to? Answer!
Okay, now that was what I call the black music era. Most of the great artists were black guys. James Brown, Chuck Berry, Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding. Some of my all-time favorites. That was the music. They owned the music field. Best singers we ever had.
Okay, next one.
Excellent. What were some of the political events and other culture changes that came? Well, time when you think about your life, what songs do you associate with each time of change? Well, there again, we're going back to Bob Dylan, Barry McGuire. That was the Vietnam era. And there was a lot of protests. There was, you know, people that wanted the war on one side, some that didn't. Read that for you. And as you have grown older, what music or musicians are your favorites? And why do you think you like this music best? Okay, well, my favorite music goes back to the old Bob Dylan songs and Joan Baez, that folk music I was talking about. I think I just learned moral lessons. It kind of went along with my life's philosophy. And it relaxed me. It was soothing to listen to. Rock and roll stirs you up. It's primal.
Rock and roll! Your favorite music!
Oh, it'd have to be Ray Charles. That's my favorite all-time singer. Favorite song that he ever sang was "You Don't Know Me." In America.
You give me an example.
Okay.
Could you sing it for me?
Well, I might be able to sing a little bit of it. No, you don't know me. The one who loves you tight. The one who loves you long. And wants to spend the night. No, you will never know how much I love you so. No, you don't know me. And
Yay!
they called him the genius
Why?
because he was a genius. He sang everything. It's, you know, country music. He would take somebody else's country song and make it a hit. Oh yeah, rock and roll.
Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
He did rock and roll too.
What's that?
Everything was in B flat that he ever wrote.
Sing every song you can think of?
Oh yeah, all types of music, except rap that I know. But he could do that. He could do it all, and he was blind.
Why?
Well, he had that disease when he was a child. And,
Let
but
me
it-
show you something.
That's
Which musical or bands have you seen in?
Which musicians or bands have you seen in concert? Oh, I've seen Merle Haggard, which was a rowdy concert. Never went to a Merle Haggard without trying to stay out of problems and not having any fights or anything. Too much beer drinking there. And I've been to 3 Ray Charles. Well, they weren't even concerts. There were probably 70 people there at the old Melody Land over by Disneyland.
What?
Yeah.
I went to Disneyland.
Well, it was near Land, right on Harbor Boulevard. It was called Melody Land. They had him in there 3 times that I went to.
How many
I mean, I was 20 feet away from him. It would circle around. On the stage, it would circle around, and you'd always be within 15 feet of it.
Do you have a favorite song or a song that you think describes you?
Wildwood. Wildwood.
Why?
Well, we always have this wild soul when we were young.
What
If
is
it was
it?
crazy or close to being illegal, I wanted to do it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. What would you like to tell your family and friends about the role that music has had in your life?
I don't know if it's had a role in my life. I just enjoyed it. It's just something that I cared about. If you're in a blue mood, it can get you out of it. Too happy, if there is such a thing, it can bring you down a little bit. It just makes you think a little bit, develop your philosophies. But I don't know if it really changes you, just temporarily.
Which songs do
I'll tell you, as much as I don't like the rap music, I think it sends a message. I don't think it's lyrical. I don't think it's that musical. But it does have a message because the lyrics can be terrific. They're about today, right or wrong. A lot of the music we used to have didn't. It just kind of, it was nice. The cellos playing and the violins and everything, that was a little moving. But the lyrics, I think, are much better today. Much better. I wish they would listen to those.
Thank you.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. Leave the thumbs up if you like it.
That's very good. And your dress is very pretty.